This was my third time in a row losing to tier elements. The milling of my and my opponent's deck, the fusion summons, the random graveyard effects. I had enough.
Kashtira!
Kashtira.
Presenting Kashtira.
In today's video, I wanted to show you guys a Kashtira deck profile because Kashtira is the best deck in the Yu-Gi-Oh meta. There are very few decks that rival it, like Sprite and Fahaya, but the deck that stands at the pinnacle of those and tends to win almost every tournament out there is Kashtira. So without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. Just be sure to like the video, comment down below what you want to see in the future, and subscribe to my channel. In today's deck profile, we are playing 2 Kashtira Unicorns, 3 Fenrir, 1 Taillements Kashtira, 1 Scareclaw Kashtira, 3 Dimension Shifter, 2 Rise Heart, 3 Ash, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 3 Kashtira Theosis, 3 Prosperity, 1 Terraforming, 3 Book of Moon, 2 Forbidden Lance, 1 Set Rotation, 3 Kashtira Birth, 3 Pressured Planet Wraith Off. We play 3 Imperm, 1 Big Bang. In the extra deck, we play 1 Garura, 1 Elder Entity Intis, 1 Baron the Floor, 2 Zeus, 1 Rise Heart. We play 1 Darkharm the Dragon of Annihilation, 1 Master of Blades, Mech Phantom Beast Draco Sack, 2 Big Eye, 2 Shangri-La, Dagger for Hire, 1 Infinite Track Goliath. And yeah, that's it for the extra deck. Now, stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to go through everything here, but let's just quickly cover the side deck. Obviously, the side deck is up to you. Whatever you feel is working, put it in there. But for me, I definitely suggest playing Droll. It stops so many of the current meta decks that you kind of have to play it. And some tech that we're using is Enemy Controller. Taking your opponent's monsters in this deck is quite powerful. We play 3 Ghost Bell, 2 Lightning Storm, 3 Droll, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Enemy Controller, and 3 Solemn Judgment. Let me explain some of the choices for the main deck. So in the main deck, we play 2 Unicorn. We have to max out as much as we can. 3 Fenrir, 1 Taillements Kashtira, 1 Scareclaw Kashtira. And 2 Rise Heart. This is the standard for most Kashtira decks, except we don't really play the Taillements Kashtira. The reason why we play it is because you do need that extra Kashtira monster in your deck. And I feel like Taillements Kashtira bricks a lot less than having Ogre in your deck. So having Taillements Kashtira is definitely the way you want to go about it. And Taillements Kashtira also helps you bring out a free level 7 in order to go into your Rise Heart, because that's mainly what the deck's about, a Rise Heart Turbo, which basically shuts down a lot of the current meta decks. We do play 3 Pot of Prosperity to help you search some of your key pieces to your engine. Like I said before, we do play Set Rotation, Terraforming, 3 of our field spells. We play a total of about 6 field spells, and those 6 field spells will allow us to search our Kashtira monsters in order to do our Kashtira plays. So although this deck may not look monster heavy, we can search monsters through almost every single card. We do play a lot of hand trap, and you can side in your hand traps for however you want to play this deck, because this deck can be played going both first and second. So if you want to switch out the Ashes for Dark Hole or something similar to that, you definitely can. I would suggest though playing a level 3 tuner hand trap like Ash Blossom, Ghost Moonlit Chill, or even Ghost Bell, because what you can do is you can normal summon your Ash, special summon one of your level 7s, and you can then go into Baron the Floor, which it can get you out of quite a few pickles, and it's a very strong card. Book of Moon is one of the most strongest cards in this format. It's definitely on the rise. I've seen it be used in quite a few tournaments in order to combat cards like this. And what we do want to do is protect our Rise Heart, because we can't get it back once it's gone. We play Forbidden Lance, which just protects our monster. Not only that, it stops a lot of the going second decks, because we do know that they are rampant in this format. We've got decks like Vanquished Souls that would just completely blow out our board if not for the Forbidden Lance. Because what it does is it makes our monster unaffected by card effects. So if you have a certain key piece, like Kashtira, a Rise Heart, what you can do is, let's say they evenly matched you, you can make your Rise Heart unaffected, and that evenly matched is almost nothing. We play set rotation because what we can do is if our opponent does evenly match us, they'll have an extra card on their field, so we can save ourselves a little bit more. We play our Dimension Shifter because a lot of our card effects rely on Kashtira monsters being banished, and not only that, it's just a useful floodgate. It definitely shuts down a lot of decks, like Bystials are going rampant with Dragon Link. I already made a video on that. It shuts down decks like Bystial Dragon. We do play the 3 Imperm because it's just a negate hand trap, very good. You could switch out for whatever you want, switch out for Nibiru, whatever. We played 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. The reason I played Harpy's Feather Duster is because we had 1 spare slot in the deck, and I was thinking maybe we put a Ghost Bell, but it doesn't really make sense to put Ghost Bell into the main deck if you're going first, because we are playing so many cards that are meant to blow out the graveyard and completely stop your opponent from going into the graveyard. So having Ghost Bell in your main deck is kind of a waste, because you're not really going to be negating anything in the graveyard, as nothing will be in the graveyard. We do play the 2 Cosmic Cyclones and 2 Lightning Storms in the side deck, so if you are going up against the Labyrinth deck, you can just side those in. We do play the Pressured Planet Wraith-Off, which allows us to add a Kashtira monster from our deck to our hand, and that's the main card we will go for in this deck. The ideal end board here is you summon out Kashtira Shangri-La, as well as having a Kashtira Arise Heart on the board. If you have those two, you basically win the duel. Planet Wraith-Off allows you to pop a card so long as you have a Shangri-La on the field, and so long as a Shangri-La activates its effect, the Wraith-Off will get a free pop. Monsters are basically just popping your opponent's cards and negating them, because your Fenrir, although you special summon him to go into our level 7 Xyz monsters, he himself actually has a good negate, as well as the Unicorn, as well as the Tilament, as well as the Scareclaw. Be sure to read it in your own time, otherwise this video is going to be way too long. We do play 2 Rise Heart because we can search Rise Heart off a Fenrir, and we're able to special summon Rise Heart that way, which will allow us to go into another level 7, as well as having one of your special summons, which works out to be 3 level 7 monsters in order to go into your Rise Heart. Having a Rise Heart turn 1 is really the goal here. We do play Kashtira Big Bang, which it's kind of necessary. If a Kashtira Xyz monster, Big Bang is useful because it allows you to recycle cards. We can banish one of our opponent's monsters, and with the Rise Heart, because everything is getting banished and you have a lot of other support cards which banish your opponent's cards, your Rise Heart ends up having a ton of material. And what you can do with this is you can banish the Big Bang from your graveyard, or if this card is banished, you guys get the idea. We can then take that Kashtira monster we used to special summon the Rise Heart and special summon it back to our field, so we can have another Fenrir on the field, which will allow us to help negate our opponent. We play set rotation because we are allowed to play our primitive planet Reichphobia, which has 2 effects, which is when this card is activated, you can add 1 Scareclaw monster, which we would add Scareclaw Kashtira, which it's useful, don't get me wrong. So this card isn't a total brick, and it allows you to play set rotation in the deck. However, it's got a second effect which allows you to pop 1 card our opponent controls if we control 3 or more defense position monsters, which if we're going to go into our Rise Heart anyway, we will get that pop, so it's very useful. We played 2 Aezu Sky Thunder because we're playing so many Xyz. Don't make the mistake though of going into an Arise Heart, getting a ton of materials, and then going into a Zeus. Sure, if your opponent's deck doesn't really work with the Arise Heart, then you go into Zeus, but your Arise Heart is probably a stronger monster than your Zeus, so consider keeping your Arise Heart and maybe swapping out one of your other Xyz monsters for this. Like getting Big Eye on the field, taking your opponent's monster, attacking with Big Eye, then going into Zeus is one of the stronger things I've tried to do with this deck, and it works. Okay, as I was recording the deck profile, I kind of realized that I messed up a bit. The Dark Arm Dragon wasn't meant to be there. Instead, it was meant to be Infinitrack Mountain Smasher, so it makes sense with Infinitrack Goliath. But yeah, there's other plays you can make with that because you do play a lot of machine monsters. So if you manage to get it into the graveyard anyway, it could be quite useful, or banished. But yeah, that's it for today's deck profile. If you guys enjoyed and stuck around till the end of the video, be sure to give the video a like, comment down below what you want to see next, and subscribe to the channel because it helps me a lot more than you guys think, and I'll be posting more Yu-Gi-Oh content regularly the better I do. So yeah, make sure you guys take it easy. I'll see you all in the next video, and bye.